All right, here's where it gets really crazy now. Like it hasn't been crazy yet.
That's gotta hurt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there's no editing. That was all in one take. Can you imagine anybody being able to do that today?
All right, these guys, one take, what do you mean? Okay, here's what it means.
Who wants to try the splits, by the way, and stand back up?
You can do it,
You
right?
can stand back up with no hands like that?
So what I love about this is that it's absolutely fearless. Like, I don't know exactly what they're thinking about in the time, but I bet the only thing that mattered is that they were in the moment performing and doing what they love, regardless. Nothing else mattered at that moment. There's no fear. Does that make sense? I mean, you gotta be fearless to jump and land in the splits and oh my goodness. Okay? So, we all know who Michael Jackson is, and the Nicholas brothers were a huge influence on everything Michael Jackson does. Who likes Justin Bieber?
No love for Justin.
He's old hat.
But my point is that even someone like Justin Bieber, you better believe that Justin Bieber listened to a lot of Michael Jackson.
Does that mean we have to listen to his music?
No, not at all. So, keep in mind too, okay, that we all have certain kinds of music that we love, and even if it's not music, okay, if it's not music, whatever it is, whatever it might be, maybe it's a book, maybe it's acting, maybe it's computers, I don't know, maybe it's a sport, whatever it is, if there's something that moves you, that inspires you, find it and hold on to it. You know what I mean? And don't let go of it. And it's something that can be with you the rest of your life. Like music to me, when I'm on my deathbed, okay, when I'm on my deathbed, I will be thinking, there isn't enough music for me to listen to. I need more. I can be better. I can understand it more. It's just this lifelong journey that I have. So find something, whatever it is.
Can I bring in some questions from you guys? I have a couple of questions for you, and then I want to see if you have any questions for Ian to kind of make this more of a discussion and we're not just talking to you or at you, but rather with you. Does anyone have an example of a moment when you were struggling with something and there was one song that got you through it? A song that helped you feel better, understand something? Does anyone have a moment like that? What do you do? Would you like to share your moment?
Oh, no, they go first.
Okay. Go ahead. What's your song and moment?
Just like last year, I was kind of really struggling in school, and then just some songs helped me through it. Like they were just really positive songs and made me think I could keep going.
Do you want to give us an example of a song, or do you want to keep
My iPod got wiped, so I don't really remember most of them.
And where do you listen to music when you're in those moments? Is it in your room, in the car, at school?
Yeah, in my room.
In your room. Yep. When you're
But it's
by yourself.
It's by
right?
yourself away, so you
Yeah.
just have that moment with it, right? That like one-on-one time with it.
Who else wants to share a song moment? Go ahead.
I'm a diver, and I was having issues getting into dive, and I listened to This Is Indiana, that a couple of IB students made about the Indiana basketball team.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Great.
And it worked, right? It got you in the right place? Okay. Jacob?
Well, it wasn't like, I don't know why, I was just like, I wasn't, nothing really caused it, I just was doing good, like, I was suppressed and I was mad about stuff, I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I just kind of listened to some of, the older Beatles songs, like Let It Be and stuff.
There you go.
Yep.
Let it be. That's a great one. And what I think is so cool about songs is that the writer of the song might have had an idea when they were writing it, what it meant to them. But that same song can mean something completely different to somebody else, and that's how it's meant to be. Songs usually aren't meant to just tell one story for one person. They can apply to a lot of people. So the same song that meant something to you in that moment meant something totally different to someone else 30 years ago, but it's just as powerful. I think that's part of the power of music too. Did you have an example?
Yeah, like a few years ago, I had a really hard time falling asleep every night. And then one night I just got so bored, I popped in an AC/DC CD and I fell right asleep.
Yeah,
Fall
good for you.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Let's see, and Trish was talking about, like what, kind of like what the song is about. But I would go a step further, because when I was maybe your age or younger, I got my first drum set, right? Cymbals and drums when I was 5 years old. When I'm 5 years old, the last thing I'm doing is listening to what the words are about. Okay, so I am not listening to the lyrics. I don't know what, Cat Stevens or Simon and Garfunkel or all these groups. You guys have no idea. Some people know those names, right? I'm not listening to the words. I just listen to the music. You know what I mean? The sound of the drums to me, the sound of the guitars, the textures on the singers' voices. So I have no idea what the song is about. I have no idea what the artist or the writer's intentions were. All I know is that when I listen to it, it just does something to me. And back then it was like, well, my ears would immediately go to the drums. What do the drums do? What's the drummer doing? So I don't even need to know what the song's about. I care less what the song's about. Right? I just want to hear the rhythm. I want to hear the pulse, the beat. So even if you don't know what it's about, it still can move you.
Would anyone like to hear an example of a song that Ian played on an original album? Yeah? I think this is a perfect example of a song. It could mean something different to everyone. Languid. He played for a long time when we lived in Champaign with a band called Temple of Low Men with his friend Brandon Washington, who's a great singer who, I don't know, kind of came up in a gospel choir background and
he did. He came up
changed it into rock and
but he's also
hip-hop.
everything, metal, whatever. Guy would know everything.
Do you know the story behind how he wrote Languid? I want to say Brandon's also a music teacher, and the word of the day was languid, I think, like a vocabulary word, and they had to look up what that word meant, and somehow that inspired him to write this song. Does anyone kind of understand what that word even means? Languid, kind of a slow-moving, relaxed pace. But this song probably mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Do you want to figure out how to play it?
I want to figure out how to play it.
Yeah. You can listen for where this song probably had some roots, just like we were talking about, in blues. And
I'll explain kind of a rhythm thing at the end that will literally take us to West Africa.
See if the words mean anything to you, too.
But it's never end again. I need to leave 5 minutes.